Oh, hello and welcome back to the vlog where today I'm at Fårup Sommerland. Yesterday, if you haven't seen already, I was at Djurs Sommerland, about 3 hours from here on public transport. It's been a real super quick weekend, so I got here yesterday to Denmark at about 8 AM, went straight to Djurs Sommerland, and this morning woke up early and got the public transport here to Fårup. And so it's about 12 midday now. The park opens from 10 till 6 PM. But the queue times look short, so I think 6 hours is going to be plenty to do everything. I've seen the wooden roller coaster going on very quick cycles. They keep getting the trains sent out, so operations are looking good so far. And obviously this is the park with Fenix, the Vekoma roller coaster that looks absolutely brilliant. So I've done Let Coaster in Poland, which is very similar, but this looks even better, to be honest. I was not disappointed with Let Coaster, but wasn't perhaps as good as I was expecting, but I've got really high hopes for Fenix here. It's absolutely brilliant. Want to get on there 5 or 6 times at least. As well as that, we've got the Gerslau roller coaster in the background there. Unfortunately, it has over-the-shoulder restraints, so not as excited as I would be because I love a Gerslau. And there's plenty of other roller coasters to explore here. But enough talking about it. This really is a bucket list park for me. I know it's in Europe, it's not that far away from me, but it is a difficult one to get to. And I'm really pleased I managed to do both just over the weekend and then get back to work pretty much tomorrow evening. So yeah, crazy weekend, but it's always worth it. Let's get inside and let's go straight to Fenix. I tell you what, it's really beautiful in this park. It's like a country park I'm walking around. It reminds me a bit of Busch Gardens Williamsburg, where I was a month or 2 ago. Yeah, really nice and picturesque. And I think these are the rapids behind me. They look a bit crazy. Gotta get on there later. It's another fairly warm day today, not as hot as yesterday. About 22, 23 degrees and cloudy, so yeah, not too bad at all. I just got myself an interesting looking hot dog. And I'll have to do Fenix still, so let's go. Well, I've just made it over to Fenix and she's looking good. It's a massive park, it's taken ages to walk here. So I'll have to have a few rides while I'm here, I think, as long as the queue's not too long. Let me turn you around and show you her. Wow. I don't normally do exact first impressions. I normally like to have a couple of rides, but that was just fantastic. Road third row from the front, and you're just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. That's what Let Coaster should have been to me. Let Coaster is good, but this just hits the nail on the head perfectly. Not too intense, like there is 1 or 2 points on Let, but the airtime is just sublime. And it's not uncomfortable at all, it's just right, and there is so much of it, the airtime, despite the vest restraints. Yeah, absolutely wonderful roller coaster. I reckon after just my first ride, it's hard for me to say now because I was just looking and I'm almost at 350 coasters of my coaster count. I think it's got to be top 20. It must be. So I'll have a good think about that, and at some point I'll update you all on where these coasters are. But yeah, absolutely amazing. The you get airtime on literally every hill, whether it's like to the left or the right. There's no floater, it's all between floater and ejector, flector I call it, which is perfect and just not uncomfortable. So smooth. The first drop is brilliant as well, really forceful first drop, which considering I was near the front is very impressive. So I'm gonna have to have a back ride now, I think. And yeah, I want to get at least 5-6 times on this today, if not even more, but I have got the rest of the park to explore, so we'll have to see. So there we have had 3 back-to-back rides now on the Fenix. The Fenix, whatever. Oh man, that is fantastic. The best one I had, so I had the first one was mid-train. Second one, well, mid-train is third from front. Second ride was back row. Third ride was front row. And the best one was definitely back row. Unlike Piraten I'd done yesterday at Djurs Sommerland, that was a front row ride, surprisingly. This is definitely back row. In fact, the weakest ride was on the very front, strangely. But yeah, on the back row, that is a monster. That first drop feels more like a 200-foot drop, the forces you get. If that was, I mean, that's the only reason holding that back from being like a top 5 coaster for me, is just it hasn't got quite the same size and speed of some of the others like Zarja and Steel Vengeance. Hyperion being my number 1. Ride to Happiness would top it despite not being as tall and things, but yeah, just superb. I think it could be top 15, top 10, I have to have a look. Probably my favourite roller coaster of that sort of size is what I would say. You know, thinking of others the similar sized in my head, like Taron, Fly. What else do we have around that sort of size? Like Let Coaster, obviously. I'm trying to think what other ones, because the thing is, after this it's hyper coasters and that, and it, you know, does it compete with them? I don't know. But for what it is, it's absolutely spectacular. Just get my breath back from it. Just the airtime. And something interesting that I noticed, there's a couple of things actually, is I think the vest restraints make it, because it's quite whippy on some of the transitions, and sometimes when you've just got lap bars it's a bit uncomfortable because you really like get thrown side to side, but the vests just hold you in place enough whilst getting the airtime, which to me is a very good thing. The other thing I noticed on there, which I know other people have noticed this, I didn't think about it before I went on, but yeah, it is very quiet around there. Like when the train goes out the station, it's so well themed, you expect like some sort of music as you go out, or soundtrack, or even in the area, but there's just nothing, which is a bit, you know, it's almost like awkward sometimes, just that it's so silent. So that's something they could really do with looking at, I think. But anyway, I'm going to get on 2 or 3 of the more roller coasters. There's 8 here in total, and once I've done 2 or 3, I'm going to get some lunch, because yesterday I just had snacks, but today, yeah, I'll get a proper lunch here, I think. I just had my ride there on the Mine Train roller coaster, and yeah, that's pretty good for what it is. Little Vekoma family roller coaster. Now going on Saven, I believe it is called, the Family Boomerang. This will be my 3rd roller coaster of the day. 5th ride in about 1 hour. Again, flying through the rides at this park. Great operations, good to see again. just had a walk-on ride there on Savin. Yeah, like those became a Boomerang family coasters. And yeah, surprised it was walk-on, considering there's a slight queue for the mine train. But yeah, it's pretty quiet here, like I say. There's a cool little plaque that I would have just, not plaque, like chalkboard, I would have just put in there. I'd imagine that's maybe 2 of the staff members, how many times they've ridden it this year. I might be completely wrong. But I'll maybe try and find out the translation, or someone let me know down in the comments. Anyway, I'm going to try and get one more coaster done, I think, before lunch break. So I got my lunch here, you'll have to excuse me, I've eaten about half of it. It's quite cheap actually, it's like £9. Very interesting cup for the drink. Never seen anything quite like that. Yeah, £9, not too bad. The ketchup was £1.50 on top of that though, which is a bit silly. Oh blimey, just got off my ride off of Linnet, the Gerslau roller coaster here. Oh, wow, that is very intense and forceful. I was thinking about the one at where Ride to Happiness is, the launch Gerslau there. Oh, I can't think what it's called now. The theme park, Plopsaland, Plopsaland Japan. And that has a snappy launch, but this feels even more so, which is surprising because this is smaller, I believe. I think it's only like 70 feet high, but it feels higher than that. It feels like 100 or so. And yeah, that launch is breathtaking. The restraints do let it down a bit. It is a little uncomfortable with the over-the-shoulder restraints, which is a shame. Otherwise that'd be really rideable and probably better than the one at Plopsaland actually. But as it is, I'll take the one at Plopsaland. Well, from what I remember, I'm sure it's lap bars there. It's certainly more comfortable anyway. But yeah, glad I got on it. A 15-minute wait there. Now I've got to go and do the other 4 coasters here. The sun's coming out now, which is great as well. I just want to mention as well, whilst I was queuing for Linnet, I just heard the news about what's happened at Groneland on the Jetline Schwarzkopf roller coaster. Sounds like one of the carts have derailed, and there's been at least, well, definitely one death and several injuries. So yeah, thoughts go out to people there. That's awful. I was there, I think, last year or something. These things are obviously very rare, but we don't know what's happened so far. But yeah, that's awful news. I was going to do the Wild Mouth, but it's the only one with much of a queue, and I reckon towards the end of the day the queues will probably fizzle out a bit. But yeah, it has put a bit of a dampener on the day, that news, really. Just to think that, you know, someone enjoying their day at a theme park just like I am today, to have their lives taken away like that, it's yeah, it's especially, I think, just being at a park as well. Yeah, it's horrible. Anyway, I'm gonna try and put it to one side for now and just try and enjoy the rest of my day here. Right, getting on this S&S Woody now. I've heard pretty terrible things about this. So, well, it's nice knowing my spine. Hopefully it will still be with me by the end. I'm not hopeful though. very mixed thoughts about that. The first half of it is absolutely brilliant on the back seat. The drop and the first airtime hill, sensational. In fact, the whole ride's not bad at all, apart from one moment that is so incredibly rough, like ridiculously. One bit of profiling just before the camera section. So if you watch a POV and see where the camera is, just before then, there is the biggest jolt, and I really hurt my leg the second time on it. Like, that is probably the roughest moment I've ever felt on a ride. That is crazy, but the rest of it was literally fine. I thought it was all going to be just a bit meh, but the airtime was brilliant, and if it wasn't for that moment, it'd be a cracking Woody. After the news we've just heard and that from that park, it does annoy me a bit, as you probably just saw from the ride operator there, not checking any of the restraints, just looking at them. With a ride that's that rough and thrilling, like, I'm sure that shouldn't be on, but yeah, that's not great to see, really. That's really cool, an actual horse ride where they walk you around a circuit on a horse. I wouldn't have found that if I didn't just walk down this random path. It's quite out the way. Yeah, I'd love to have done that as a kid. I'd love to do it now. But yeah, I think I'll leave that. I'm going to get on the inverted roller coaster now. That looks brilliant. I reckon this will be... well, I can't believe that I preferred the Woody in a lot of ways to the Linnet, the Gerstlauer. I'll say it one more time, apart from that one moment that was absurd. It was brilliant. If they just retract that bit, yeah, it'd be brilliant. So yeah, here we go. Got the invert now. Meant to be really good. Looks good. Looks forceful. Looks like it takes some of the turns pretty quick. And I really enjoyed the invert at Djurs Sommerland yesterday. So let's see how it goes. Well, that was awesome walking in, I think it's called that. Had two rides on there as well, so we got to the end of the first lap, and a really good drop, good forceful drop, makes his tummy go a bit, and a great overbank turn to start with. Very smooth, yeah, brilliant. Loads of low to the ground moments with water and everything. Not quite as good as the invert yesterday, but very good still, very good. And we got to the end, and what did they say? All the kids were going, extra tour, extra tour. And that must, you know, another lap or something. And there was people in all the air gates ready to go again. But because they were all shouting so loudly, he sent it again, and everyone else had to wait. There was no queue. It was like just one train's worth of people waiting to get on. So they're not having to wait long, are they? And yeah, it's an awesome experience. And all the staff are high-fiving you as the train departs. Just stuff like that you don't really get in England, which is a shame. Apart from maybe you kind of do at Southend, Pleasure Island. I think that's, yeah, Pleasure, I'm sure it is with Rage anyway. Yeah, the staff are great there. I wish there's like that at theme parks more. But yeah, great ride. I think this is right at the other end of the park. I've only got two more coasters to do. Wild Mouse and then one tiny one that will just be walk on. And I've got 3 hours still to go. So I might do the Rapids. And then I might even come all the way back here this end to get on that again, because well, both of those coasters, that and Falcon, are definitely worth going on again. Seem to have played that right. Oh goodness. Oh, this is lovely. Oh. 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 I thought that was the queue. Oh, it starts here. Yes, I think I've stood under those misters a bit too long. Oh, it's amazing. I could stand there all day. Oh. That's all 8 coasters and the rapids done as well. So back to Fenix. Is there anything that makes sense, really? There she goes again. I had 5 rides on there in total now. Still going to get a couple more. My favourite ride was the last one that I've done. It's on the back, so the last 2 I've done back row on the right and back row on the left. And believe it or not, it made quite a big difference. Back row on the left takes a lot of the elements nicer. You go on the sort of outer part of the track rather than inwards. So that works quite well. And towards the end, you're on the inner part, but that's closer to the ground, so that works well as well. So yeah, that's my favourite seat on there by a mile so far. And yeah, gonna have a couple more rides on it. And it's warmed up as well. It's the airtime's more ejector now than anything, but still not uncomfortable. But yeah, let's have a couple more rides before making my way home. Everything's done pretty much apart from the log flume. I don't think I'll bother doing that one today. And yeah, bus home is just over an hour, so get 2 or 3 more rides in. So I've spent the past 20-30 minutes just watching it for a bit, because sometimes you've got to do that, put the camera down and just take it all in. Like, you can literally just sit right in the middle of the coaster here. Just one other thing to mention, that is the inversion after the first drop is definitely my favourite element. Although there's great airtime at other places, it's so unique how you have the hang time at the top, and then it whips you down like an S-bend drop. Yeah, whew, that's sensational. Yeah, next time you see me will probably be on my bus back or at the hotel, because my phone's almost out of charge, but it's pretty much the end of the day here. I'm probably going to get up to probably 7 rides, I'd say. And the next clip you'll see will be me wrapping up my thoughts, I should think. So thanks for watching, guys. And, well, let's see what else I have to say. So not a lot extra to say, actually. It's about a month or so later. I completely forgot to upload the vlog. But I ended up getting up to 10 rides on Fenix, and what a ride, an absolute ride, and a brilliant theme park in Europe. Exceeded my expectations by far, particularly Falcon and the coma suspended roller coaster. Yeah, brilliant day out. Thanks for watching. I've got another vlog coming up in the next day or 2 from a small seaside park in England, and fingers crossed, get back out abroad as soon as possible. So thanks for watching. See you next time.